Hi, my friends, my sisters, and my brothers. Eddie Marcus here. Got a nugget. Many of you have heard the story about how heaven, the angelic host, was corrupted. You heard about how evil ramped up in there and turned a third of the heavenly host into his followers. Now, many of you probably wondering if they were in heaven, how could evil do that? Well, it indicates that even in heaven, you got your own will. If you're there, it is your will to be there, following the basic principles and guidelines too. And you have the choice to change anytime you get ready, and that's what happened at that time. And it is an inference of what happened in the garden when Adam and Eve were there. They were confronted again with evil, and they had choice. And while everything might have been going good as it had been going in the amongst the heavenly hosts, they found themselves stretching out, deciding to branch out and see what was out there. And by so doing, they had to experience the same fall. And so you might ask yourself, well, they talk about an apple in the garden. They talk about a snake in the garden. They talk about all kinds of things that makes it so complicated for you to understand. Well, the heavenly host, the heavenly Father, the Creator, has made it so possible for us to understand exactly what it's all about, how evil operates. And first of all, out of all the things that's been happening in America, nothing is new. But for some strange reason, when George Floyd was murdered, it represented something that wasn't new, but it brought attention from all around the world about what was really happening. The power of the world's governments. Because what happened here in Minnesota happened all over the earth, in every kind of government. And so we saw that power being in operation. And it was in operation against the people who had never been treated as citizens, second-class citizens, people who had taught their privileged society that these people were less than human. They came up believing that people of color were less than human. Now, what happened? In 2016, you have a man that comes up saying he wants to be president of the United States. And what is he doing? He emulates everything that the evil did in amongst the heavenly host. He represents everything that evil did in the garden. Now he's in the United States of America doing everything that's been done all over the country, everywhere. He comes in, he tells lies, and people who thought they had convinced you that they knew what truth was, at least had some decency about them, now were themselves just outright lying. Just like the one who came in lying, the one who was giving them power, just outright doing it. See, that's the sellout. The angel, third of heaven, the host, start doing that. The same thing that you see the Republicans doing, and those conservatives and those rich guys and those in government who sold out. They did the same thing amongst the heavenly hosts. They sold out to evil. In the garden, Adam and Eve sold out to evil. In America today, everybody's selling out to evil. Selling out to evil. That's the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the question. Now that you see that, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell out to evil? Now that you recognize what evil is, and you know that you never want to be on that end, especially of the consequences, and you might say, well, that's why I got to ride the boat of evil, because they will punish me, and God might not come to my rescue. God will not come to your rescue if you're sitting up there waiting for a miracle. The rescue comes through the same way that the evil comes. The evil comes through people who allow the Spirit to live within them. The rescue comes from people who allow the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love, the Spirit of truth to live in them. That's how God is lifted up. Say that, ladies and gentlemen. So we've been taught some stuff that does no good. Doesn't help anybody but the devil. Doesn't help anybody but evil. So I just wanted to leave that nugget with you. I just wanted to leave it with you that the world is evil today, just like it was in the garden, just like it was in amongst the heavenly hosts. And wherever there's a heavenly nest, it's because the people rose up. Evil was still there, but had no place to move. It had no power. Nobody was giving it power. So it was held at bay. It was there, but it was held at bay. Nobody gave it any power. The next time, Eddie Marcus.